ResortLoop.com is proudly sponsored by Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company. Indulge in a taste from the South Pacific. Joffrey's new Disney Parks and Resorts blend, Alani, brings the islands to you. Blended with Hawaiian Kona beans and roasted to perfection, Alani is buttery smooth with a tropical sweet aftertaste. Available at Alani or Joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Please board quickly and safely. Our monorail will be departing momentarily. Thank you.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott.
I'm Bob Collar.
This is ResortLoop.com. This is episode 338.
You sure about that?
No. Absolutely not, but I'm pretty sure.
We're pretty sure. We're juggling some numbers around here at Resort Loop. But yeah, it's welcome back. By the way, I haven't had an opportunity to... Well, no, I did. Yeah, I did on the last show. What am I even talking
you did.
I'm so confused.
It seems like so long ago.
I'm still riding that Cleveland high, baby.
Wow, who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought?
Oh, just crazy around here.
I enjoyed the festivities downtown Cleveland by staying completely away from them. Too many people.
I went downstairs, but I went with the team and I was shirtless, so I kind of went with that.
Yeah, we're glad you went downstairs then. That was nice. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, listen, everybody out there in Looper Nation that follows us on social media, we put out a little statement about some of the things that happened a couple of weeks ago in Florida, and we didn't really know what to say at the time, and we just want everybody to stay safe and all of that. And we actually skipped a show because, we do our thing, and we didn't want to bring the crowd down, if you will.
No, it wasn't the appropriate time for that.
Not appropriate at all. So we hope that everybody is healing in this process. And we got a few emails from some folks that they're a little bit concerned about going to Florida because or anywhere at a Disney park. Mm-hmm. And so we thought this would be a great opportunity to bring on a young man who has been in law enforcement for quite a while, our good pal of the show, the original SuperLooper, believe it or not, Joe Quattrocchi is with us, and we asked him to come on to kind of talk about the things that he has seen. Now, he's not going to tell you any secrets because we don't want people to know secrets about what's going on. But some of the things that he's picked up on since the recent events, the upgraded security, if you will, all around Walt Disney World and the other parks actually in Orlando. So, Joe, welcome to the show again.
Hey, guys. How you doing today?
We're doing well, thank you.
And congratulations, like I said, with your Cleveland Cavaliers snapping that 53 or 58-year drought.
52.
Yeah,
who's counting, right?
Exactly.
We were. I think, what is it? Milwaukee, I think, is next in line.
Milwaukee or Minnesota, one of those.
It was something, and their drought is 26 years, so we had them beat by quite a bit there.
By double.
So before we get started, Joe, I just want to read. This was from Disney spokeswoman Jackie Waller. She put this statement out saying, "Unfortunately, we all have been living in a world of uncertainty, and during this time, we have increased our security measures across our properties, including such visible safeguards as magnetometers." Did I say that right?
Magnetometers, I believe.
Magnetometers. There you go. See,
and if that's wrong, I apologize.
Additional K9 units, which I didn't know they had, and law enforcement officers on site, as well as less visible systems that employ state-of-the-art security technologies. What have you seen being down in the parks? You're over in Daytona Beach right now. What are you seeing when you go to the parks?
Well, since even before the events of, I believe, last week or a week and a half ago, you've seen increased security ever since 9/11. I remember going to the parks before 9/11, and you never see a uniformed Disney security officer, let alone a local or state police officer on site. After 9/11 happened, you started seeing more uniformed Disney security, and then you started seeing, the local Orange County or Osceola County Sheriff's Office officers on site, on scene. And recently, since the events of last week, I was in the parks the other day. was in Blizzard Beach, and then also went to the studios. And I have noticed even more of a presence of law enforcement. Everything from now, when you drive, for example, I'll give you a specific example from my last trip, driving into the studios. You'd never see an Orange County a sheriff's deputy sitting at the gate where you show your annual pass or you pay your fee to park, and they're parked there now. You usually see them at the front gates. So besides seeing them at the front gates, you're also seeing them at the toll plazas. When you're going into the parks now, they were kind of pushing everybody to. I know that a few days after the tragedy, they were searching everybody. There was even if you didn't have a bag, they were searching everybody. They were pushing even more people through the magnetometers, and they did a great job. I mean, I had a bag. They checked my bag. I had no issues. I tried to limit what I brought in, and they still sent me through the magnetometers to be checked. So there are. And I've noticed even more uniformed security officers at the opening, at the gates to the park, more than usual. So Disney is obviously taking, not that there's a specific threat, but they're aware of what's going on in the world, and they're doing everything I'm sure that they can to keep all of us park guests safe and all of their employees safe as well.
Now, Tim, you and Joe have both. I mean, Joe was just down there, but you just got back yourself. What are the lines like, guys? Are we talking about? Are we talking about frozen line waits to get into the parks now? 300 minutes of line waits, or are they getting people through relatively well?
Well, I can say the one day we got there a little late for rope drop. We took the monorail. The line looked huge. I mean, it was backed up, but it actually moved fairly well. And actually, we went off to the right a little bit to the other toll plaza. Listen to the cast members, though. They will guide you to the shortest possible lines to get in. She goes, walk over here to the right and walk around to the other exit. It's much shorter. So we went in through there. And another thing, when you get up to the table, have your bag open and ready. Don't have wait for the security guy there to open your bag. Have it open, ready for him to just look in. He'll look in. He'll get you through as soon as he can. As soon as he knows you're safe.
And I've also noticed that usually they would have one Disney security officer working two sides of the table. I know yesterday at the studios they had one on each side of the table, so they were trying to get the lines through a lot, people through, guests through a lot faster. Also, they will kind of like look at you. Like I had my Oakley sunglass case in my right cargo pocket, and they actually pulled me aside and stopped me and said, "Excuse me, sir, what's in your cargo pocket?" And I pulled it out and I said, "Oh, it's my sunglass case." And I pulled it out, slowly. And I opened it up for them, and they said, "Okay, thank you." So I know for the future now that if I have anything in my cargo pockets, to pull that out as well, and even have my sunglass case open so they can inspect it. It's almost like going through an airport now. I know we don't want to hear that going to a Disney park, but if you're just prepared, you get to the line, you have your bag open, like Tim said, have everything ready for them to look at. They'll get you through as quick as possible. They don't want lines backing up, but they've been doing a great job. I mean, I felt really good that they checked everything, that they were even examining me just visually, and they said, "Hey, sir, what's in your pocket?" That makes me feel good as a park guest. And that's all we can ask of the Walt Disney Company is they're doing the absolute best that they can.
Right, and that brings up a good point, Joe. They're doing the best that they can. What can we do as guests to help them do the job that they need to do? And that's all over the Disney property, and really any of the theme parks that are down there. What can we do?
Well, the first thing, and I agree with what Tim just said before, is have your bag ready to go when you get to the park entrance. Limit the amount of things that could be questionable, like obviously. If you've got a small child and they want to come in costume, don't bring anything that looks like a weapon of sort of anything like that. Leave that stuff at home. You limit, if you've got a pocket knife or anything like that, if you really don't need to have it with you, don't bring it with you. Anything that will, set law enforcement off, either, Disney security or the law enforcement out there, you don't want to have any kind of issues when you're there to go enjoy yourself in the park, and that's the most important thing. So if anything that could be questionable, just leave it at home or leave it in your room in the safe. The second thing is it's like being anywhere else. As somebody who grew up right outside New York City, the old saying is, you see something, say something. Disney's got probably some of the best security in the world, private security in the world, besides having the Orange County Sheriff's deputies, Osceola County Sheriff's deputies, and Florida Highway Patrol all on property. I mean, we also need to do our responsibility as not only Walt Disney World park guests and fans, but also as citizens to, if you see something, say something. If something doesn't look right, grab a cast member. There's security walking all over the place. Like that, you said, you'd never have seen that in years past, and you can walk through any of the Disney parks now and find a uniformed security officer. Grab them, say, "Hey, excuse me, sir, this doesn't look right." They'll be more than happy to investigate anything that doesn't look right. Also, too, is allow yourself extra time. Also, talking about going through bag check in the beginning. Allow yourself extra time. Have a good attitude. We're all there on vacation. We all paid to be there in one way or another. Let's all remember that when we go there. Getting frustrated, if it takes an extra few minutes to go through security, is not gonna, it's just gonna ruin your day. And it's, they're just trying to do the best job that they could do. They're just doing what they're told. They're acting on whatever intelligence or information that they have. Just be cooperative. Have a good attitude. Trust me, I've never seen a security officer there like get nasty or be mean. They will always say, "Please, thank you, have a magical day." I don't think you'll get that from any other security anywhere else. So just give those guys an extra a little bit of extra leeway, because they're just doing their job. Also, too, is one thing is always be aware of your surroundings. And if there's people listening to this podcast that are in law enforcement, they will completely understand this. Always know an egress point. Always know where your emergency exits are. Always know who and what is around you. That's just, we should all be doing that in everyday life now. Unfortunately, that's the society and the time of the day that we live in. But just always know, if God forbid something happens, how to get out or where you're at, know your surroundings. Let me just see. I have also a few other notes here.
Well, and that point too goes, Joe, for even when maybe you're not around crowds. Just you got to know. There have been a couple of incidences now, and I'm not downplaying anything by any means, but you are in Central Florida. It is a swampy area. There are other things other than people that you got to keep aware of and keep an eye out for as well. It's not just going into the parks,
and not to get into specifics about any other incidents going on, but yeah, posted signage, warnings, things like that. Disney has posted them for a reason. They're there because either something has happened or something could happen, and just be aware of your surroundings. There's no better place marked on this earth than Walt Disney World property. You can go there without a map and find anywhere you need to go. So if there's a warning sign or anything like that, you just need to pay attention to it, know it's there, and then hopefully everything will turn out well for you. But as far as as being a safe place, they've got fantastic, men and women of the Orange County Sheriff's Office there, Osceola County Sheriff's Office, Florida Highway Patrol. They're all, Reedy Creek Fire Department is on site. There is a plethora of first responders and emergency, personnel on Disney property. So, just know that these men and women are professionally trained. They've trained for any kind of incident that could probably happen. And just know that, and just help yourself, but know that you're in one of the places where, God forbid, if something does happen, you're not going to have really great men and women helping to respond to help you out.
Right. And I remember back in the day, and we talked about this on a previous show. Back in the day, then this was back in the early '90s. I found out a little bit about what Disney did. They actually talked about their security and how there are cameras everywhere. They had at that time. They had cameras everywhere, and they've got plainclothes officers everywhere. So, and that was back 30 years ago, 20 years ago. So, I can only imagine the uptick, if you will, of security and the new technologies that they have out. They're going to do everything in their power, including, I think, Central Florida itself and the entire state of Florida, because the tourist industry is so important to them.
Going back to what you said about the plainclothes deputies, there's old school law enforcement going on and there's new school law enforcement going on. I don't know this for a fact. I'm speculating just like you are, but I'm sure they have the top of the line, security and surveillance systems, in their parks and resorts. I do know for a fact, we all do, that there are undercover deputies in all the parks. There's undercover Disney security besides the, uniform security. I mean, we've all seen, the canine units outside, which I assume are probably, explosive detection dogs, canine units. And they're just doing, they're doing their thing. I mean, they're out there trying to protect us. So yeah, but the tourism industry is such a big deal in Central Florida. These Universal, Walt Disney World, SeaWorld, they are not going to take any chances with our safety and our security. So yeah, I'm sure that they have the very best of equipment that's helping us, be safe, during our time in the parks.
And I think you probably made the best point, Joe, is give the security officers a great deal of respect and understanding when you're going to the parks, when you're going to the resorts, wherever you're at. Don't pull into one of the resorts, and because you don't have a tag or a piece of paper in your car saying that you stay on property, and they give you a little bit of a hard time and double check it. Don't give them a hard time. They're there to keep us all safe, and treat them with that kind of respect, that they're there for us.
And for the most part, we've all dealt with Disney security, either pulling up to a resort or getting into the parks. And, for the most part, they just want to see a photo ID, and they usually smile and let you go. I mean, so if things have changed, I haven't pulled up to any resorts since everything happened last week. However, if things have changed, I know they've changed at the park entrances, give them the respect that they deserve. They're doing it for a reason. They're doing it because they know something that we don't. They're trying to keep the guests of that resort safe. Even though you may know you're not there to do any harm, they don't know that. So it's just in everybody's best interest just to, give them the respect that they reserve, and just, if you got to go move on. Mm-hmm.
It kind of falls under our mantra, just be nice.
Just be nice. Exactly.
Now, Tim, did you see anything? Did you go to any of the other resorts and see any change in how they handled cars coming in?
Well, this is before the whole situation. We did visit the Polynesian, and the guy just wanted to take a look at my ID. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to take it out of the wallet. I just showed him. He was like, have a great day. There was one time in one of the theme parks, I did notice a undercover security guard just kind of walking around. I just kind of noticed this guy didn't really leave his area for a while, and I kind of wondered who he was waiting for, and then he kind of turned. I saw a little earpiece in. He was just kind of doing his thing, and I'm sure he wasn't the... If I was not meant to see him, I'm sure I wouldn't have noticed him. I'm sure he was just maybe one of the layers of the many layers of security there. So it made me feel good that he was there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And as somebody who was there, just recently, I had no qualms. I didn't even cross my mind twice about my safety in the parks. So somebody who is in law enforcement, is cognizant of my surroundings, I had no issue. I did not have any issue at all about being in the parks at all.
There you go. And really, for everybody else that maybe you're going to, like our pals over in the UK, that are coming over for a couple of fortnights or so. This from Universal spokesman Tom Schroeder said that the security updates at Universal Parks are a test and not a response to any specific concern. We want our guests to feel safe and be safe when they come to our theme parks, and so we've begun testing metal detection. We feel this test is a natural progression for us as we study best practices for security in today's world. And over at SeaWorld, they released a statement saying our security teams work closely with law enforcement. We have enhanced security measures in all our parks. We do not comment on the details of our security measures in order to maintain their effectiveness. So it's not just Disney. Everybody is stepping up and, keeping an eye on you. So I think that you can go to Disney, you can go to Central Florida and feel safe. What do you guys think?
I totally agree. Totally agree. There's not going to be any safer place on the planet, I believe.
And the men and women of the Orange County Sheriff's Office, Osceola County Sheriff's Office, and Orlando PD, they do a great job. Shout out to them. They're heroes. They do a great job protecting us. And just job well done, guys.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better, Joe. Thank you so much. And thank you for being on
Joe.
The show with us today.
Thank you, guys.
Help people feel better about their upcoming vacations. So keep safe out there, everybody. Keep aware of your surroundings. If you see something, say something. And Tim, that is all I've got.
Excellent. Everybody just take care of everybody else. I think that's one of the best things we could actually do.
There you go.
Everybody,
Absolutely.
thanks for joining me, or thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. You can find me on Twitter, ResortLoopTim, Facebook at Tim Scott, and the website, ResortLoop.com.
I'm ResortLoop Bob on the Twitter and Instagram. Don't forget to like us over on Facebook. Rate us on iTunes if you'd be so kind. Don't forget my Diz Match. Hey, check out the Resort Loop Rocketeers. Joe is a captain over there, so thank him for that.
Thanks, Joe.
And what else you got, Tim?
Everybody just go out there and please help share the Gateway to the Magic.
See you, everybody. With 4 theme parks, 25 resort hotels, hundreds of dining and shopping locations, and seemingly innumerable special events and ticket options, planning a trip to Walt Disney World can seem overwhelming. That's why the ResortLoop.com podcast has teamed up with People Mover Travel to help you get the most magic out of your Disney vacation. People Mover Travel will walk you through every aspect of your next Disney trip, from ensuring you get the best discounts to FastPass Plus and dining reservations and so many other things. Best of all, there is no fee for their service. That's right, you get your very own expert Disney vacation planner at no cost to you. For more information and to request a free, no-obligation quote, visit peoplemovertravel.com.